Good morning everybody, this is Howard from AV Transfers, just saying hi to everyone on the channel, welcome. So a couple of exciting things that I wanted to share with you. I have been looking for one of these for a very long time. As far as I know, this is one of the first Sony color TVs that came to the UK. It is in a very nice proper wooden cabinet, I think. It works, it actually switches on and produces snow. It is a Sony Trinitron, and apparently these sets are absolutely bulletproof. It's got your power with a very cool satisfying click. It's got picture, hue, frequency lock and color. Note it's the European spelling of color, which means it's a European model. Now, this is a solid state. There's no vacuum tubes in this. The only thing I can find that's wrong with this is that this is frozen. So I need to open it up and fix that. And I'm quite keen to modify this and make it into a AV in. I'm just not sure if it's got a transformer. If it's got a transformer, then yes, I can do it. If it doesn't, if it's a live chassis, then probably not, unless I put it through an isolation transformer. This is a 13-inch set. It is a very good example. And I've been looking for one of these for a long time, and they come up from time to time. This was in somebody's cupboard for the past 40 years. And I'm going to give it a service. So in time, we'll do some more with it on the channel. And no, a lot of people try and sell these as gaming sets. These sets are not for gaming. These sets predate those 1980s consoles by quite a margin. And in my opinion, this wouldn't be the right set for gaming because it's an old lady. This set's older than me, so it's 50 plus years old. At the moment, it's an ornament because I've got this really cool side table, but I don't really want it as an ornament because it's quite deep at the back. And we don't want that. You know, if it didn't have the back, I'd say it would be better ornament. I'm thinking about doing a CRT display unit because I've got so many various CRTs from all over the world. Interesting fact about these, and obviously correct me if I'm wrong. When they introduced color in the UK, I think there was a little bit of uncertainty in the very beginning about it, but they locked into PAL color. And these sets were modified from NTSC, or certainly some of it was modified, because normally on a PAL set you do not have a hue adjustment, which is your green and red balance, okay? They modified these to go from 3.58 megahertz, which is the American NTSC color frequency, to PAL, which is more like 4.43 megahertz. So it's a wider, I think it's a wider bandwidth would be the most accurate understanding I have of it, but you know, correct me if I'm wrong. So very, very unusual for a PAL set to have that, and that actually works on PAL, because normally that's disabled. PAL is supposed to basically be always the correct color, whereas NTSC is never twice the same color. That was the joke. But this one has a hue, so yeah, excited about this set. What am I going to do with it? Well, I have a very nice Sony SL8080, I think it is, also mint condition, wooden cabinet, Betamax, which is about 1978. I think that would be a very good companion for this machine. So the idea is it'll have the Betamax here, but the Betamax is also a bit frozen up, so we need to get that serviced. I want to get a service kit for it and rebelt it, retire it, etc. But it's in good nick. So I think between that and this, it would be a very cool set of retro electronics. So yeah, just wanted to update you on that. Here's another piece of very cool nostalgia. So this is a Philips Dictaphone, and I've just purchased this for very little money. This is one of the early made in Austria Philips dictaphones. We get a lot of these kind of weird tapes, recordings of people's voices, and of course sometimes that's all that's left of them are their dictations. So this comes up a lot, and the Philips format was a little bit different to the Japanese version. I prefer the Japanese version, but okay. This is a Philips dictaphone. We've got here really strange markings. Rewind, stop, play, stop, forward, stop, and I think record. I think you'd probably have to push them both down. Right. But it's semi-logic, so this doesn't actually push anything down. It has to be powered up and activated for that to work. So my dad had one of these. This stood in his office for at least 10 years when I was a little kid. And I always remember looking at this thing and thinking, how cool was it? And this thing is solid. I mean, this probably weighs 3 kilos. It's got a transformer in it. It's built like a brick shithouse. On the side, it's got your foot pedal control. There was a foot remote that you could start and stop it, or I think you could do it from the microphone as well. I think it was for telephone, if I'm not mistaken, or for the microphone. Headphones, can't remember. But I'm hoping to do a video of this. Now, I remember there was a piece of paper you could get to put in here, and you could, I think you could mark it, or you could write with a pencil on it where your recordings were. So you could actually do, this is a really cool little dial thing. I'm not too sure how these relate. I think there's a long pointy thing and a short. So I guess start and stop maybe. Not sure. Do these mark the paper? I don't know. But I'm hoping to get some paper soon to test that theory out. But here we've got a volume, which is working nicely, and a pitch control. The pitch is unfortunately frozen. I'm sure that can be rectified. But the pitch is more of a speed. So I guess if you were dictating something and you wanted to hear the voice speak slowly when you were a slow typist, you would slow this down or speed it up, right? So people like, doctors, lawyers, I guess, accountants, I guess, many people would have had these in their offices. And this was when Philips was made in Austria, so this is good stuff. I think the microphone was made in Holland. And again, just a very nostalgic item for me. Obviously, my father's long gone from this world. But this just suddenly reminded me of his office and what he used to have. And obviously when I was a kid and I went to his office, I would sort of get a bit bored and play around with whatever technology there was. And he had one of these. And he used it a lot. I wish I had some of his tapes still. But this just reminds me of him. So if it works or not, I'm not too worried. It's about the size of an alarm clock radio. Gives you kind of an idea. But this thing weighs, kind of reminds me a bit of the first CD players that Philips made. Also were like top loaders. This was kind of their form factor, right? Sloped front, top loading. But what a cool piece of kit that is. Interesting, I noticed this one does not have a pinch roller. I'm not too sure if that's just something on this machine or if that's just generic for this type of format. I think that was a light. I haven't seen it light up, and I think there used to be a backlight here as well. I think maybe one of these had a light in it. But again, I'll probably strip it more and have a look at that more. I used to go sit in my dad's office and he'd have an HP computer, which was a green tube, and it used like 144K stiffy disks, floppy disks, whatever you call it. And I just remember it being really, really cool.
This is all still part of B? No, right. Okay. Yeah.
So this is an incredible piece of engineering. Unfortunately, all the belts were gone, and I had to open it up and clean the belts, and I've gone through about 100 earbuds, or as some people call them, Q-tips, and bits of that black googe everywhere. But it looks like it's working.
Well, there was nothing in from Singapore. No, but I've had Sarah.
I must just say it's fascinating because it's got all these old business recordings. I mean, this is like maybe 70s or 80s. They're talking about telex and all sorts of weird things. So yeah, I just put new belts in. And this thing is made like a Swiss clock. Everything is aluminium. Every part is beautifully, it's just a beautiful machine inside. It's a work of art. Made in Austria, this one. Let's listen to it some more.
Anything, and I just stored them and said nothing yet. We'll let you know as soon as we get anything.
You can slow it down.
The only other important one was Mr. Galanis came on the phone.
Evidently, in his usual
artist wants to sell the Vento di Levante. So he says he'll speak to you about it. I said I hope you'll be back late tonight or tomorrow. So he's phoning again tomorrow afternoon. Okay?
What's nice about this also is with the remote, it gives you a start-stop. So I was trying to figure out where the play button is. It's not obvious, it's here. And everything is logic controlled. So there's a solenoid there. Let's get that in focus.
There was an inquiry from Mr. Gurney of Wigan Richardson on the latest on the Caliroy. And there was an inquiry from Mr. Burt of Tamplin, the latest on the Universal Atlanta. And there was a
and you can rewind remotely as well. Oh, it sounds fancy.
So he said he'll speak to you about it. I said I hope you'll be back late tonight or tomorrow. So he's phoning again tomorrow afternoon. Okay?
Now this is supposed to turn or move as it records, and it's got another thing for a belt here, and I'm not too sure where this needs to be connected to. I'm going to need to figure that out still. So here, guys, is an interesting machine that I've got a tape for. I very seldom get these. This is a FUNAI Technicolor video showcase, and it has a cassette that looks something like an audio cassette. It's very flat and very simple. It was a system designed by Technicolor or FUNAI back in the early 80s. Unfortunately, these machines have not got a legacy of being very reliable, and they're incredibly difficult to fix and get working again. There are very few of these around that are working. This one I keep in a special hermetically sealed case just to keep it as preserved as possible, and it is in mint condition. This one's got a built-in 8-inch monitor. There's no tuner in it, but you could plug a camera in. It traditionally doesn't have an AV out. It has a multi-pin AV out, but it doesn't have like an RF modulator or a tuner. So there used to be a portable pack you could get for a portable recorder, which I've got, and charger. So the charger unit, which is there, fortunately does plug in to this unit at the back, and then it allows me to get RF out and audio and video out. So I'm powering it through the charger and feeding the signal just into a DVD recorder, which you can see there. The grease in these machines freezes up very quickly, and even on a pretty much virgin tape, you can see there's a lot of sort of vertical hold sensitivity. This monitor is particularly sensitive to vertical hold issues. But this CRT is like, it tests like a brand new CRT. I mean, this thing is so bright. It's just insane. It really is insane. It's quite jumpy, but on the DVD recorder's output it's slightly better because it's doing a time-based correction, but it's not perfect. But because these tapes are so rare and so frail and hard to come by, that any picture, I have a philosophy. If I've got one of these tapes and it starts playing, I just hit record straight away, because I literally don't know when these machines will fail or when they will work. And I just hope this one works as long as possible, because I've got several other portable ones and I've never managed to fix them properly. And here's a quick look at the cassette. It's got a little window there, which is kind of cool. And it almost looks like a film cartridge at the back. It's got that sort of film cartridge look to it, but it's quite thin. And I think the tape's about 1/4 inch thick. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that with you this morning. Yeah, we've been really busy with all sorts of weird and wonderful transfers. You know, audio reels, multi-track ADAT recordings, 35mm films, all sorts of weird and wonderful formats, which is kind of the thing we specialize in. And of course the occasional mom and pop stuff as well, you know, VHS, Betamax and whatnot. And yeah, but today this is what I prioritized for this morning, because it is such a rare format. And on the back bench I've got some Philips long play tapes and Philips SP tapes that require the VCR format. That'll be the next one I've got to dig out. But literally, this machine is behind a whole bunch of other machines, and I literally have to dig it out. But yeah, that's the story. Howard from AV Transfers. Bye for now.